living in the present to get past the pain, giving myself a life sentence because everything stays the same. This is what recovery is like, a lot of self-discovery in unwanted sight, sitting in a circle with our cups of coffee, fitting in because I was also nuts for drugs that stopped me and landed me here. It was that or death. I'm planted in fear and there is smoke on my breath. But I've been clean for a month, no longer a fiend in a slump. They say I'll get stronger the more I emotionally dump. Looking back on the cracked days, I took more than just slaps to the face. It's not my turn to speak yet, so I blow on my cup. Everyone suffers one way or another. I've had enough of hard living and falling under the influence, but to most I'm still kind of a nuisance. The clock ticks and ticks, but there is no mockery. I still crave a lot, but drugs were too much for me. But I ran with them hard for a long time, from in bars to feeling the wrong kind of fine. The room is dim and people look depressingly relieved. I feel gloom and doom, but I think that's something received. With kicking what I did, now sitting and for once not talking shit. My health is bad, but it's been worse. But I'm glad to have rid myself for now of that curse. The group session is over, and I won't relay anyone's stories. Who knew this was a blessing even though my life now is fucking boring? Is there redemption when there was possession? Or was it all a lesson left with questions? I don't know, but I'll be here the same day and time next week. The pain divided me and left the better part of me off the streets. I go back to my apartment, 1 bedroom. I lack money, so at times I'm starving, with a head filled with doom. At least my bed is in the tomb. I have a cat, it was a stray, like me. He's kind of fat and doesn't obey. Fuck it, he was free. Don't owe much to be honest. Everything has dust when you touch, especially my wallet. I keep a picture of my ex. I read literature and try to connect. I need the slow burn, not the fireworks. The glow to keep me warm, not in the sky going berserk. I have a radio and 2 chairs, also a table. I may say life is unfair, but I've lived a life unstable. It's lucky I'm not in the ground, but it sucks to be free to roam in my head that I want to pound. Thank God the only lead is in my pencil, because demons I have found. I might buy a TV, but then again I need to pay the gas bill. I really have to keep fighting this disease, because blood has spilled. When I'm sober, and yes it was mine, I look over my shoulder every day, but I wish it was for a good sign. My window is jammed and the glass is cracked. I had a plan but fell into the poverty trap. They tell me to write my thoughts, but I just grab my ego and fight it some more. No car these days, no bars to get me laid. Plenty of scars though that I made. Boulders on both of my sober shoulders. Getting older cause I'm alone and colder. I have a steep hill ahead of me, but both my feet hurt. I should let it be. But I'm not going back to that creek. I want people to know a better me. Leaving my flat, I walk to the cafe. See myself get fat as I decide to put down the fork and cake. I live like a dork with no pay. The waitress is nice, always says hi, and my faceless in her eyes, and just another guy. Life is lonely with not much to do. I pull out a notepad and pen, like a phony writer without a clue. The coffee shop is where I write my tales of a crackhead. With not much wind in my sails, I never lack stress. I don't know where to start with this book. I need to give it heart so people will look. The waitress does say hi and throws in a smile. I look at her and she probably knows it's been a while since I've been with a woman. I have needs but I shouldn't. Flirt too much. Nah, I couldn't. Cafes are substitute pubs for those on the mend. Between hell and above, but my life isn't pretend. The day I stopped fucking my life with no protection. So here I write what I learned. Call it progression. The coffee here is good and the cafe is old. The paint chips off the wood, but it remains unsold. It's been in the family for decades. The owner knows me by name, but the rest of me is misplaced. I really need to write my first sentence, light up the page with good penmanship. But the more I think of the hard drugs, the more I see the scars from its false love. That's the opening lines right there. Followed by trust me, life doesn't fight fair. Especially with a chemical relationship meant to be patient and quit. I keep going and pen my first chapter. I must be on the mend, cause all of a sudden I'm happier. Thanks for the 4 cups, I'm doing better. Not bored or in a rut, for the first time this September. I think the heart is poetry over the blueprint. The drinks and drugs left their mark, but I'm wanting to do good. So I volunteer once a day for charity to help stop my life from decay and sad defeat. My job is simple. I sort out donations, keeping work to a minimal because I have no patience, and I'm still dealing with withdrawals. I can feel it killing me to get me sorted. I open the front door with a shaky hand. At times I feel done for, but it won't break me, that's the plan. The supervisor is nice. I have new desires to try, like writing and trying to do good. I'm still fighting demons like I should, but now they are only in my head. I'm getting distracted. Someone's about to donate their bed. I earn $0, but it's my turn to wear a collar. I don't mind if it's blue, because it's time I started living just like you. The man I work for is nice. I came here with a plan to stop the hurt and try in life. Now I only get high off what I write. The story's medium size and people like it here. The floor is alright, a few cracks because of the timber. I overheard a workmate saying they're back on Tinder. Whatever that means. I'm only clever in my dreams, because the reality of my life is not much. The brutality of my first act put me out of touch. I try and cope, but any life is hard. I don't lie or do dope anymore, and I try and write some kind of art. My shift is only 4 hours. It's a gift to them, and when I get home, shower. My life is slowly getting meaning, and if you look closely, I'm no longer fiending. I head home, but on my way, I bump into an old friend. He offers me a bump, another lost soul, this one not on the mend. I tell him I'm clean now. He says, you're dreaming, how? No one partied like you, he says. I say I started a new chapter, a fresh page. He says you looked happier on gear. What happened to my best mate? I fill him in on the way my life's changing. He says you're stuck on a hill or in a maze. I know the real you, and it's amazing. I have nothing to offer him, and he's the same. I'm not living the life I did. Too much pain. I try and walk past him, but he's high and wants to talk fast. Is he kidding? I'm not this guy anymore. Not about to get high. I'm moving toward a different direction, one more soothing with support. Working at a charity, hurting still, but I like the new me, but only to a certain degree. Love and mercy is all we need. He still won't let me get past him, asking if I still place bets, but I'm trying to use my heart for vision. I stopped all that stuff, mate. I dropped my addictions. I'm getting too much hate back from a world I gave it to, on a new path and track. So should you. He takes offence and then swings at me. I use defence, bring my own fist. but he flees. I was never a tough man, and neither was he. I really had enough of that life and that tragic disease. I light a smoke and watch the flame. I might look like a joke to some, but there's no longer drugs in my veins. I get a hug from pain, but I've had enough of this rain. I simply continue to walk home, and am stupid enough to call my ex just so I can talk on the phone.